Next, tragedy strikes, accidents happen. Be there when the calls come in. It's back-to-back episodes of Rescue 911. Next on Discovery Health Channel.
This is 911. Do you have an emergency?
Today on Rescue 911, a faulty furnace ignites into a propane fireball.
I thought at first that the house had been hit by lightning,
leaving 2 children fighting for their lives. One.
On June 21st, 1988, Bill Walter and his family were living in a small wood frame house on the cattle ranch he was managing on the eastern plains of Colorado. Actors have helped us reconstruct what happened inside the Walter home on that summer afternoon. But all the volunteer and professional rescuers have returned to help us tell the story of a courageous family and a caring community.
I was in the kitchen, and I was getting ready to fix our supper, and I had turned on the hot water to wash my hands, and it came out cold.
On the other side. Doesn't. No, we don't have any hot water.
Assuming that the pilot light had gone out on the water heater, I asked my husband, Bill, to go down to the basement and relight it for us.
Come on, you guys. Get your shoes on.
When we continue.
Their whole lives were being changed just in that instant. That's what flashed through my mind.
Clear? Then there's Claritin Clear.
Follow unsung heroes saving lives and witness courage and compassion in action.
Okay, I'll be in the back. I'm gonna be in the back of the ambulance waiting for you.
Paramedics. Next on Discovery Health Channel.
The children were planning to go out and help do chores with their dad, so they were sitting at the top of the stairs putting their shoes on.
As in many remote areas, the Walters water heater was fueled by propane, a colorless gas.
I had fed our baby Abby and put her to bed.
Fine, we'll have a race. Whoever wins gets a big dog.
I thought at first that the house had been hit by lightning. That's all I could think of. Bill was hollering and the kids were screaming, and the first vision that I saw of them was unrecognizable. I realized that an accident had occurred and that they were burned. And the only thing that I could remember was to dial 911.
911.
Hi, it's Lori at 911. I have an explosive.
911 operator Lori Manuel transferred the call to Sheriff's Dispatcher Renee Pethick and stayed on the line in case she could help.
I've got to turn some water on. Hang on just a minute.
I heard children screaming in the background. It's a scream that I've never heard before.
Their whole lives were being changed just in that instant. That's what flashed through my mind.
The call for help went out. Volunteer emergency services were the first to respond. Neighbors from across the county were alerted through a system of pagers.
3560 Ellicott Highway. We have 2 children and 1 adult.
Everybody that heard the call realized the seriousness of it.
Feeding SO3 volunteers respond to a propane explosion.
You take your fire gear and you're out the door. If you're going towards the station, you may pick up equipment. If the call is on your end of the area, you just go direct.
Volunteer Gene Willard, a trained emergency medical technician, stopped to pick up the ambulance.
It makes the adrenaline pump. You have friends, you have neighbors, and you may pick them up and they may die right in your arms.
Okay, I'm back. Ma'am, yeah, this is 911. SO has you on hold. They're taking care of getting people to you. I'm going to connect you to the city fire department. They're going to help give you advice until somebody gets there, okay? Go ahead and talk to the fire department. Okay. Yes, this is the fire department. How old is the patient? Okay, we have three. We have a male that's 36. We have a small boy, 6, and a girl, 4. Their skin is just, it looks like their skin is just burned right off. Okay, because the best thing to do is just put a light, dry dressing, a sheet, if possible. How much of their body? All over, their hair, their face, their arms, everything. Half of their shirts are burned off and everything. Okay, are they having any problems breathing? Yes, my daughter is, the 4-year-old. Okay, you need to watch her. I want you to go back, look at her, and see if she's breathing okay, all right? Okay, hang on, come back to the phone.
Cindy Walters was still on the phone with the fire department when the first rescuers arrived. Jean's daughter, Shauna Nelson, an off-duty Colorado Springs paramedic, took charge at the scene.
The treatment of burn patients is going through my mind. Burns are always difficult to handle. I had seen burn patients before, but I wasn't prepared for what I did see.
You walk in, and this goes through your mind in a flash. If I pick her up, I'm going to hurt her. If I pick her up, I'm going to contaminate her. But she has to be moved, she has to get in the hospital, and you don't have time to waste.
When the pool of propane gas exploded, a fireball shot up the cinder block stairway and out of the house. The 2 children sitting on the stairs were both severely burned.
I was extremely concerned about Adam. He actually did stop breathing at one point for about 30 to 45 seconds. I yelled at him and I did a sternal rub, and he began breathing again. I kept thinking, what's going to happen to this family? I thought that perhaps the children might die. And I really didn't even have the time to say, Mr. Walters, if there's anything you want to say to these 2 children, say it now.
Cindy Walters followed her family to the hospital.
When they came out and they were on the gurneys and they wheeled them past us, you wouldn't have known who they were. Their hair was gone, their eyelashes and eyebrows. They were swollen almost twice the size that they had been. When Megan came through, I knew she couldn't hear me, but I leaned over to her and I touched the top of her head and I said, honey, I love you. And the rest of her hair fell out in my hand. And I thought that was the end. My children aren't even there anymore.
Megan, Adam, and their father, Bill, were transported to the regional burn center at Penrose Hospital in Colorado Springs. Plastic surgeon Alexander McCullough was on call that night.
All 3 of the patients were in very critical condition with 2nd and 3rd degree burns. No question that their lives were in danger.
From that time on, I really prayed that they would die. I did not want them to live through the pain that they would have to have, through the disfigurements and also the social shunning. And so I did. I prayed that way. And then in the morning, when they were still alive, I thought, well, I need to change my thinking. They're alive this long, and we need to work with this now.
Months of skin grafts and slow healing began, especially for Megan and Adam.
When we were real sick in the hospital, it was really confusing because we really didn't know what happened to us at that time. We couldn't talk.
We had to dress them, we had to feed them, we had to do everything for them.
Within weeks, they were outfitted with special silicone masks and elastic bodysuits to help reduce the scarring. They started a program of intensive therapy to increase their mobility.
Then began our process of little miracles. They began to heal in different things. Even though the outside of them was changed and would never be the same, the inside was still there, and I was thankful for that.
A year later, the Walters have begun to build a new life. They never went back to the house that brought them so much sadness.
Father, we thank you for the day. We thank you for watching over us and providing.
I'm very proud of my children because of what's happened. They will have to exceed what is acceptable for the normal person. In ways, I wished I had the same determination and stamina as they did.
You got 2 runs in.
Are you getting better at hitting the ball?
Yeah.
All of the patients have done very well. As time goes by, usually the scars improve.
I goes run. It's kind of like.
I expect that they'll be able to do pretty much what they want to do in the future.
Their bodies always will look like they have been burned, and there will be differences there. We want to give the kids the self-confidence inside that they can deal with that. We have told both of the kids that they are special, and that because of what they've gone through, they're going to be able to reach people that others can't. And so I'm anticipating something really special.
I think part of living, the biggest part of living, is learning how to live life, no matter what the conditions are. So it's not a cause for giving up or quitting.
It's kind of like an adventure when you're going through the jungle and you don't know what's gonna pop up. I think it's really gonna be good.
Next, step inside the command center where the calls for help are answered and meet the real-life heroes who save lives. Stay tuned for another episode of Rescue 911. Next on Discovery Health Channel. Real life, medicine, miracles.
Mr. Shapiro, step out of the car, please.